What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my WarPlan Pacific review. Now, this is a game I've been waiting for since I first saw footage of it in January, and let's just get right into it because I want to cover the pros and cons. Alright, so my first pro out of the gate, I gotta say, is this beautiful, huge hex map. I mean, it's massive. I mean, it's just... I love how big it is and how far you can zoom in. And it's pretty smooth to just go right up and down like that. So I like that. The next pro I have is the music. I really enjoyed the music while playing this game. So I'm going to give it a little bit of taste. Yeah, so it's really good. One pro that I have here is you can go into, where is it, the war panel here, and as the US, I can actually declare war on the Soviet Union or Mongolia. I think that's actually pretty cool that you can actually declare a war on the Soviet Union and actually take maybe Vladivostok and use that as a base to kind of attack the Japanese here, but then you'll have to deal with the super giant there. Next pro is the production system. So this is the production, and you could pretty much make anything: armored cores, infantry divisions, a small corps, a large corps, cavalry corps, marines. There's a lot here that you can invest in, and yeah, I love that you can do that. It just offers a wealth of actual units that you can do, and that's the genius of this game. You know, it offers you more unit choices than Strategic Command, but it doesn't go full on grognard like War in the East. Another pro that I like is the convoy system. It's easy to understand, kind of just clicking this. Very easy to kind of figure out. The intuitiveness of this was like pretty much instant. So I kind of understood how this works pretty efficiently, very quickly, and I really appreciate it because I didn't have to spend too much time learning it, or any time at all, really. One other pro that I have here is the AI is smart. I can never... It's very unpredictable. It shows up in the most unlikely places, like it went to Midway, and I didn't expect that because they were just down here a couple weeks ago. So yeah, the AI is really good, and you can switch from the historical AI to a random AI, so the AI keeps you on your toes. Another pro that I have here is this one's actually this one's really cool. So if right now this unit is attached to this guy, this general right here, right? But you can actually click and have the unit move over here, and it will actually flip generals. I really like that. It does it by itself, and you don't have to go into micromanage that. One awesome pro in this game is that you can actually unify units. So if you have two cores, actually unified most of them, so I'm not going to be able to show you, but you can actually unify, if you have two cores here, you can unify them into an army, or if you have two divisions, you can unify them into a corps. I really love that system. It's awesome. Another pro that I have is the hex design. I just gotta say, it's really, really good. I mean, I really love how the textures are. It's incredibly easy to kind of tell between a road and, you know, the rail here. So I really like that. I never have like a difficulty trying to figure out, wait, is that a city or what? You know, it's actually very easy to identify particular hexes, hills to mountains. Very easy, and I appreciate that. All right, now to the cons. So a couple. Let's start off with the first one. This is just a small one. The WASD keys are not mapped, so that's just like a little gripe that I have. A lot of games that I play have the WASD keys mapped, but there's some games like War in the East 2, this game as well, that they don't map the WASD keys to up, down, left, right. It would be really simpler to actually just go through that, and it's kind of like almost like an industry standard almost. But the up, down, right arrow keys do work, and it's very smooth. Another con that I have is I wish I could make supply depots, right? So these are my supply depots, right? I wish I can actually have a unit that can put, like, let's say make this a supply depot or a supply depot here. I haven't figured it out. Maybe there is a way to do it, but as far as right now, I'm unable to figure that out. Another con that I have is, so I actually had multiple units here, and the Japanese were kind of attacking me, and I had like 20 in one army here, and I don't know what the enemy had, but they attacked me, and I took 0 loss. They took 1 loss, but my unit shattered and the army just completely disintegrated. I wasn't crazy about that because I was like, all right, well, I understand the effectiveness is low. I'd rather have the army take a massive casualties, like 7 or 8, than the entire army shattering, That's more probable. Another con that I have, it's not a big one, but I'm kind of puzzled by it. So, like, if you go into build here and you go under China, right? You can build a Chinese army unit, a cavalry corps, an armor corps, but you can't build a division. And I don't know why you can't do that. I would figure if you could build an army and a corps, you would be able to build a division. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that you can't. Another con that I have is transports. So, when you use a transport, it takes about half a year to make a transport, depending on your production level, right? And you get it, and you could put a unit on there, so like the 2nd Marine Division here. But once this unit arrives at a port, or I drop them to take this island right here, that transport doesn't exist. You have to build another one. And I wish that wasn't the case, that it goes into like a pool where I can just get them back and use it. My thought behind this is like Band of Brothers. Remember when they were like loading up in Brooklyn, right, on their way to England to begin the series and as well as the war? That ship, once it arrived in England, didn't just go mothball. They probably sent it back to bring more soldiers back, and it just probably made multiple trips back and forth. And I wish it was something like this, that it would go into a pool that I can kind of use again instead of just constantly going in and using transports. The other con that I have is combat happens way too fast, and it's a lot of times I don't know what's going on. A good example is I had an Australian fleet that I sent here. They bombed it with some, bombers here, and I don't know, I took my eyes off the screen for a second and they were gone. Apparently a Japanese fleet attacked them and moved over here. And I've been noticing that when it's the AI's turn, combat just goes way quick. You don't even have a chance to kind of take it all in. It just happens so fast. And I wish there was like a way that to pause what's happening, and kind of like soak in what's happening with the attack and the defense. So those are all the cons that I have. Let's go to the wish list. So I wish that you could merge multiple armies. So you can't do it here, but I wish you could merge like these armies together. I'm not going to be able to, but you can merge corps and divisions together, but when you have an army and another army, you can't merge them. And I wish that was the case, because some of my armies are in really bad shape. Actually, they're not so bad now, but I had some armies that were at like 5, another army at 15. I wish I could merge them into like one bigger army. You can't do that yet. And then the last thing in regards to a wish list is, right now the Intel system is part of the WarPlan, which is kind of like the diplomacy side here. And you have to create these communications intelligence units, which when you do that, you get to place them. So I put one here and I put one here. So I don't know if they go away or what. But the entire Intel system feels very bare bones. I wish it had its own kind of like section where I can click on it invest money or production into it. It should probably have like its own counter here. So when I click on it, right, we'll use this for a section. Click on it, maybe have like, you know, Japanese transmissions, like Japanese Fifth Fleet moving to AES, and you're like, all right, where is AES? I don't know what that is, but more production that you put into it, that AES changes to, you know, midway. I wish it had a much more developed IntelliSystem system, because it feels bare bones right now. But overall, guys, I mean, I really enjoy the game. It's the perfect hybrid between Strategic Command and War in the East or War in the Pacific kind of games. And it gives you some of the detail from War in the Pacific and some of the simplicity from Strategic Command. It is pretty intuitive. I would have to say it's, you know, it's not like a game where Strategic Command where you could just, you know, dive right in and start playing, but it doesn't require, you know, you to read the entire manual like in a Grognard game to actually start playing the game. Although War in the East 2, I've recently played, actually has really intuitive approach to that game. I actually didn't read the manual. Actually, I've been playing for a while without having even touched the manual. But yeah, this game is the perfect balance, and I really appreciate the developer, Kraken Studios, Alvaro, for developing this game, because now we actually have a hybrid. You know, we have that right in the middle sweet point, you know, that right in the middle sweet spot. And I appreciate it, and you know, I'm gonna get many hours of this. It's perfect for those people that play like Strategic Commands, like I want a little bit more detail, but then go to War in the Pacific, it's like, oh, this is too much detail, and then go right to that sweet spot. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed this game, and enjoying playing it, and gonna sink in a couple 100 hours into it. So thank you, Alvaro, and thank you, Kraken Studios and Matrix. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you then.